Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. A piece of news came when the Universe Masters was searching for Blood Cloud Palace leader on the original stars. Star River Master from the Northern Territory Alliance had fought Blood Cloud Palace leader, and Blood Cloud Palace leader had only suffered from a slight injury even under Star River Master's best moves, and Star River Master had left voluntarily. All the Universe Masters searching the original stars were shocked. Impossible. Star River Master utilized all his power. Though I could survive that, I would be severely injured. That Blood Cloud Palace leader's power barely changed at all. How can he be that powerful? Did Blood Cloud Palace leader hide in Blood Cloud Palace? No. He withstood the supreme technique of Star River Master. They couldn't believe what they heard, and the more they learned about that fight, the more hopeless they became. Gosh! Star River Master used his best true treasure to perform his most supreme technique. Blood Cloud Palace leader was able to withstand that without even being severely hurt. A sense of hopelessness flooded almost every Universe Master's mind, even for beings like Sky Beacon Godly Master, who were confident that they were Star River Master's equals. Let's go. Let's go back. Just go. Just like that. What else can we do? If Star River Master can't deal with Blood Cloud Palace leader, then no one else can. Even Universe Supreme Masters are only slightly stronger than Star River Master. In the original universe, the power of Universe Supreme Masters was heavily constrained. What could Universe Supreme Masters do? Heavily injure Blood Cloud Palace leader. Let's go. The Universe Masters gave up one after another. They all felt helpless. I can't believe Blood Cloud Palace leader is this powerful. Although Blood Cloud Palace leader was always powerful, he wasn't as insanely powerful as this. When hunted by beings like Star River Master in the past, he would have definitely run away without putting up a fight. It's much more difficult to kill him now. Some Universe Masters chose to leave. This was how the universe worked. Power determined someone's destiny. No matter how crazy, evil, and reckless someone was, if he could become a Universe Supreme Master, no powers would dare to mess with him, and instead, they would try to butter him up. Like lone Universe Supreme Masters, such as Sitting Mountain Guest and Virtual Real Devil Master, they all had weird tempers and might kill anyone at any time. No powers dared to go after them. Why? One didn't even need to be a Universe Supreme Master. Someone at Star River Master was already attractive enough for all the powers in the universe. Obviously, Blood Cloud Palace leader was hardly injured by the supreme technique of Star River Master. Apparently, he was almost at that level. Don't mess with that maniac. Don't mess with him. We can't kill him, he's great at fleeing, and he doesn't have any inhibitions. Unless we try to seal him, no powers will be willing to make such sacrifices to do that. After all, Blood Cloud Palace leader is only an individual. He's not related to any powers. One fight determined his status. Blood Cloud Palace leader had gone from a common enemy among the powers in the universe to someone no one was willing to mess with. Actually, there were powers who wanted to admit him, but based on their experience, Blood Cloud Palace leader might kill those who approached him. He was a maniac. Inside Luo Feng's God Country. Luo Feng's original plan was to take a tour on the original stars for a longer time, but he didn't expect all those Universe Masters to leave. And Luo Feng went out without being noticed. The waves were churning like thunder, tumbling through the boundless remote ocean. Above the remote ocean, at the center of his God Country, and inside the Godly Palace, Luo Feng looked down at the God Country. I came back. It's done. Luo Feng smiled. He felt relieved as never before. He recalled the series of incidents starting from Virtual Real Devil Master coming after him, which triggered him to kill Heavenly Flower Knight, but he didn't expect him to hide in a flying palace-type true treasure. That had led to a bigger incident in which he had killed 8,000 Universe Knights, fought a Universe Master, and killed more than 6,000 universe knights with his miniature universe. After Blood Cloud Palace leader showed himself, it had led to a larger disturbance, distracting everyone. I've achieved my goal. I'm at the same level of Master of Banff, Luo Feng thought, and I performed a supreme technique. I am a universe master. And I am a universe master who's a handful. His only weakness was his inability to control space and time, which might lead to some suspicions. However, it didn't matter. He was able to perform Golden Light and Miniature Universe, which showed Luo Feng had the power of a universe master, at least according to the powers in the universe. Besides, Luo Feng had several bodies, which meant he was extremely difficult to kill. Regardless, that Star River Master is indeed strong. Luo Feng exclaimed. If I didn't have the Shuttle of Star Tower, that attack would have destroyed half of my godly body. He used the long shuttle to resist it. And then, the power was weakened by force armor, yet he had still lost 1/500th of his godly body. 2 moves could kill him. I have a weaker godly body compared to the pinnacle universe masters, and I don't have a stronger enough weapon. Luo Feng frowned. Blood Ghost Blade is not enough to fight universe masters. A body of Sinking Fire Master had a pair of hammers, which was a top-tier true treasure. And he wasn't even a top-tier universe master. The Flame God Halberd that Flame Emperor used was a top-tier pinnacle true treasure, which was at the same level of force armor. Primal Chaos City Leader had 3 bodies, and the most powerful one was the one fighting in Universe Ocean, and even the one in the original star was the one wearing Thousand Treasures coat, and holding a true treasure stone staff. Thousand Treasures coat was only a domain-type true treasure, at the same level as the true treasure of Star River Master. As for attacking true treasures, they should be similar. My weapon isn't good enough, thought Luo Feng. Okay. Teacher said if I killed 10 top-tier universe overlords or 1 universe master, he would make a pinnacle true treasure for me. I need a top-tier pinnacle true treasure like Flame God Halberd. He didn't need a domain-type pinnacle true treasure. After all, a top-tier pinnacle true treasure weapon was also highly valuable. Luo Feng took out a stone token. Teacher. Luo Feng's consciousness entered the token and started to pass the message. The token was an ordinary true treasure made by Sitting Mountain Guest for communications, which made Luo Feng admire Sitting Mountain Guest even more. Blood Cloud Pearl was used for disguise while tokens were used for communications. Those, plus Force Armor and Star Tower, all had strict requirements for those who used them. The true treasures made by Sitting Mountain Guest were largely different from those born in the universe. A message was conveyed immediately. Ha ha. Disciple. I've already heard what you did on the original star. But my question is, why did you fight that Star River Master? You've intimidated all the powers by doing that, and they won't want to encircle you anymore. Luo Feng was rendered speechless. If this was the case, no wonder teacher ran when he came across beings stronger like Star River Master. His teacher was certainly able to create a body to resist Star River Master. I didn't think of that, said Luo Feng. Besides, I wouldn't have been able to run away. That's right. You're not good enough for that. Sitting Mountain Guest, while in disguise, was extremely proficient in escaping. Why are you contacting me? He asked. Teacher, I killed a body of Sinking Fire Master, said Luo Feng. It should be counted as killing a universe master. You're oversimplifying things, my disciple, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Luo Feng was speechless. Things were not going as he'd expected. Of course it doesn't count, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Killing a body should be as difficult as killing a real universe master, Luo Feng tried to argue. Of course it's not, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Blood Cloud Palace leader is known for his fierceness. If it weren't for having another body, ordinary universe masters wouldn't even dare to fight you in the first place. As for those who have multiple bodies, they have the guts to take risks even if they're not strong enough. Do you really think Sinking Fire Master would fight you if he didn't have another body? Luo Feng said nothing. He knew he was right. Most of the universe masters chasing him were in groups, and those who acted alone had security. No one is such a fool, said Sitting Mountain Guest. It's not as easy as you think to kill a universe master. He only risked it because he had multiple bodies. Sitting Mountain Guest laughed. It won't be so easy to get your teacher to make a pinnacle true treasure for you. Luo Feng pouted, but it seemed there was nothing he could do. Teacher, I killed the body of that sinking fire master and got some true treasures, but I can't exchange them. If I give them to my race, my identity will be exposed. Luo Feng was concerned about this. The valuables obtained by Blood Cloud Palace leader were stolen goods, and true treasures with great fame could be identified easily. It would be difficult to exchange them. That's right, said Sitting Mountain Guest. I'll handle it. Come here to exchange for true treasure. Here are the coordinates of my place. Just come here. The coordinates were sent. Luo Feng looked forward to it. It had been a long time since Sitting Mountain Guest first became his teacher, but he had never been to his home yet. Sure, said Luo Feng. I'll be there as soon as possible. Luo Feng organized his true treasures, left his god country, and took off for the home of Sitting Mountain Guest. At an extreme end of the universe, in a deserted domain that was more than 9 billion light-years away from humanity, Luo Feng first used god country transportation to reach a place nearest to the coordinates he was given. Thereafter, he relied on teleportation. It took him 2 days, and finally, he arrived at his destination. Teacher, you have been staying here. In his silver armor and silver wings, with his ghost blade slung behind him, Luo Feng stood amid the dark of space. At one glance, it was pitch black everywhere, without a trace of light, without a single star. There was absolute silence and cold. Void land of the universe. Luo Feng said to himself. When the universe evolved, galaxies started popping up, positioned slightly apart from one another. A great quantity of galaxies would form a star field. The distance between star fields was expansive, and the distance between star sectors was much greater. As for the human domain and other domains, there would be an immeasurable, vast void, a pitch-black space that existed between them. Within the universe, these void spaces had diameters ranging from a few 100 million light-years to a few billion light-years, all of which were in complete silence and darkness. With Luo Feng's powers, his eyesight could not see even the slightest trace of light. One could never imagine how frighteningly immense this void space was. My dear disciple, do come in already, a voice sounded near Luo Feng's ears. Luo Feng turned right away. Hua! A dazzling, elegant, exquisite bridge appeared. The entire bridge seemed to be made of transparent crystal stones and bathed in gold. Luo Feng flew over immediately and landed on the bridge and made his way to the other end. The walk along the bridge enabled him to feel the intense change of space at once. Luo Feng immediately checked the universe coordinates and was shocked to discover that with every step he took on the bridge, he moved 10 million light-years. From this end of the bridge to the other, the universe coordinates had shifted 1.2 billion light-years. At the other end of the bridge was an exquisite-looking lake where all kinds of fish frolicked in the water. This isn't right, said Luo Feng. He turned to take a look behind him. Previously, the bridge had only seemed to be around 300 feet long, but he had traveled 1.2 billion light-years. The lake before him was also of a diameter, a few 100 feet. But according to what his godly power sensed, this was neither a lake nor were those fish in it. It was a domain-type true treasure that wields extremely strong power. Walking along the lake, he saw flower beds and grassy patches. This isn't right, Luo Feng repeated, taking a closer look. Those stalks of grass were actually huge, ancient trees with little stones adorned around them. They were actually metallic materials that were as big as a star level. Amazing. The control of universe space is unbelievably incredible, Luo Feng mused to himself as he walked. His teacher's residence was very quiet. As for that exquisite palace and lake, they were actually a flying palace-type true treasure and a domain-type true treasure, respectively. As for the other items, they were various sorts of precious materials. Entering the palace, Luo Feng came to a garden where he saw Sitting Mountain Guest holding a stone and caressing it with his eyes closed. Teacher. Luo Feng went to him and bowed deferentially. Sitting mountain guest opened his eyes and put the stone aside. Smiling at Luo Feng, he commented, "You made it here quite fast. Teacher, this place is too deserted. Otherwise, I would have arrived much earlier." Luo Feng also smiled. "Teacher, why have you chosen such a place as your residence?" The quiet, sitting mountain guest said. "And this void space is of a diameter that is more than 100 million light years. Although it is devoid of anything and incomparably deserted, it is unfit for humans to live and multiply their numbers, but I am a lone wanderer. So this place, on the contrary, is good for me. Besides, this is only one of the many places where I live when I am in the primal universe." "Oh yes, where are those stolen goods you took?" "What do you mean by stolen goods?" said Luo Feng. Luo Feng had no other alternative but to take everything Sinking Fire Master owned, the pair of godly hammers, his armor, and the green seed. Sitting mountain guest looked. "What are you after?" "A pinnacle true treasure blade," Luo Feng replied. He took out a pair of godly hammers that were top-tier true treasures. Their powers could be combined when required. There was also the armor, which was also a top-tier true treasure, and the green seed, which was merely an ordinary soul-type true treasure. To the humans, it was worth 60 true treasure points, which was close to the value of a top-tier true treasure weapon. "Not enough." Sitting mountain guest looked at Luo Feng. "I will not take advantage of you. I will definitely offer you a price that is 30% less than what you would need to pay to exchange for a true treasure within the race. But this is obviously not enough. Add in this ghost blade." Luo Feng took out ghost blade that was slung across his back. Since he was going to trade for a blade, this ghost blade would no longer be required. Sitting mountain guest still shook his head. "Teacher," Luo Feng said, glaring. "I only have this one pinnacle true treasure blade," Sitting mountain guest said. "Although it may not be a pinnacle true treasure of the highest grade, these few true treasures you have here are really still not enough." Luo Feng frowned. The true treasures he had with him were all in use, and those that were being used were stored in the treasure room at Blood Cloud Palace. Sinking Fire Master might have owned several ordinary true treasures, but Luo Feng had categorized those and returned them to Blood Cloud Palace. After all, he did owe the treasure room in Blood Cloud Palace quite a few pieces of treasures. Oh, right. Within Sinking Fire Master's world ring, there is one senior true treasure and a token of Zhenchang Valley. Add these two. Luo Feng took out a green and gold medallion and the crystal token of Zhenchang Valley. A token of Zhenchang Valley. Sitting mountain guest looked and laughed. "Well, I have been quite bored recently. Heading to Zhenchang Valley for an adventure sounds good. All right, add on these two. We can barely make it now." "Teacher, you are really going to Zhenchang Valley?" Luo Feng eyes widened. The birth of Zhenchang Valley was a treasure the level of Blade River Luo, and it was yet to be completed. Luo Feng had a disambiguation mirror stone, so he was looking forward to the disambiguation temple more. He was not as eager to get into Zhenchang Valley. Just to get a pinnacle true treasure weapon, going to Zhenchang Valley was not a great deal. But this was a pinnacle true treasure weapon, and it was comparable to Blade River Luo. "Why am I not allowed to?" Sitting mountain guest stood up. "Life is long. We have to find some pleasures to get us by." Sitting mountain guest walked afar as he shouted, "Still not coming. Don't you want your true treasure blade?" Luo Feng hurriedly followed behind. They came to a palace hall that was decorated in a unique manner. All the walls within the hall were filled with a large quantity of sculptures, and every sculpture was engraved with many different patterns. There was a pattern that depicted a scene of two great beings fighting a battle on the vast plains. There was also a pattern that depicted a scene of a great being killing a large number of other great beings. The patterns all exuded some kind of ancient aura and power, causing the entire palace hall to be enshrouded in a strange atmosphere. "Feels as though I am on a battlefield." Luo Feng was in the palace hall, feeling his heart set ablaze as he felt the impulse to fight and kill. He was appalled as he realized my willpower can feel the influence. This palace hall is filled with true treasures, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Including the decorative items, all of them are true treasures. Majority of them are, however, just ordinary true treasures. Luo Feng's eyes scanned everything around him. There were many display cases and shelves in the hall, and on them were knives, blades, strings, ropes, shuttles, maces, hammers, axes, clocks, pagodas, boats, balls, flowers, grass, cloths, medallions, statues, cubes, all sort of items, strange and bizarre, numbering as many as a few thousand, scattered throughout the hall. All these all true treasures. Luo Feng was taken aback. All of these are. Even the items used to contain things are. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled. Ordinary true treasures were made easily and effortlessly, so to me, they do not really have much value. Like that transmission token, ornaments, decorative ornaments, and many others. All of these are just ordinary true treasures. Luo Feng went speechless at such wonders. Even craftsman master would not be able to make such statements. Only Sitting Mountain Guest was qualified enough to dare say that ordinary true treasures were made so effortlessly. So, which is mine? Luo Feng asked. In that corner. Sitting Mountain Guest pointed to a faraway corner. Luo Feng looked to where Sitting Mountain Guest was pointing and saw the seemingly ordinary blade in a corner of the room. He walked over right away. The scabbard was a dusty grey, and on it were some sculptures that looked beautiful. The moment Luo Feng reached out to touch it, he felt the presence of an evil spirit that was so overwhelming that it invaded his body instantly. Within the vast, black space, a blade several tens of thousands of miles long hung suspended horizontally in midair. The blade was slowly being drawn out of the sheath, and the frightening evil spirit seemed to continuously invade Luo Feng's willpower. Clang! The blade was completely unsheathed. A murderous intention whirled up in the air and spread all over. At this moment, Luo Feng's life imprint stored within his godly power was completely branded onto the blade. The blade shall be called Absolute Guest. Luo Feng whispered. Use this for now, Sitting Mountain Guest said. This blade should be more than enough for you. Of course, what would suit you best would be a pinnacle true treasure blade that is made with your golden horn world stone as its core. All the limitless essence of gold in the world within your body converged to form a golden horn world stone. Once made into a weapon, it would be the most suitable one for you. The materials required were exceptionally more than usual, and you are still unable to provide me with those yet. Golden horn world stone. Luo Feng's eyes lit up. So, teacher did have his plans. Golden Horn World Stone is the convergence of the limitless essence of gold in the world within your body that was trillions of miles large. It is an extreme limit of the metallic materials within the primal universe. At least, within the primal universe, it was one of the top-tier metals. Only at Universe Ocean can you find something better than that. But, judging from your body, using Golden Horn World Stone to make a weapon would be the most suitable for you. Luo Feng immediately asked, what are the materials I need? After you have killed a Universe Master or 10 top-tier Universe Overlords, then we shall talk about it, Sitting Mountain Guest said. This pinnacle true treasure blade, Absolute Guest, is one treasure I expended a lot of hard work and effort to make. Don't let it down. Luo Feng nodded. All right, you should get going. Sitting Mountain Guest was not one to hold Luo Feng back. Yes. Since teacher had said so, Luo Feng gave a bow and left quickly. Looking on until Luo Feng was out of sight, Sitting Mountain Guest returned to his seat in the garden and picked up the same piece of stone. Looking down at it, he sighed softly. When is the time I can further improve? Luo Feng had barely returned to his god country, and was just getting started in familiarizing himself with the pinnacle true treasure blade Absolute Guest, which was extremely powerful. It was then that he received mail from Primal Chaos City Leader, who was in the virtual universe. Luo Feng, Blade River Master, regarding what happened on the original star, why didn't you come to me? Don't you know that the Universe Masters of humanity have not taken a break because of you? Come over here as soon as you can. The moment he read the mail, Luo Feng's eyes lit up and his heart started beating faster and faster. Of course, he should have guessed that what happened on the original stars would cause the higher-ups of humanity to commence with urgent meetings to discuss his actions. Now that teacher had summoned him, it seemed a concluding decision had been made. Teacher called me Blade River Master. Luo Feng could not be bothered with anything else, and immediately let his consciousness connect to the virtual universe. At the apex of Thunder Island in the virtual universe, the giant, round graphite table was surrounded by endless airflow. There were 6 gigantic stone chairs around the table, each with complex sculptures on it. On the table were also numerous sculptures. Teacher, said Luo Feng. Take a seat. Primal Chaos City Leader sat down and pointed to the second chair on his left-hand side. Sit there. Sure. Luo Feng sat down and took a look at the stone table in front of him. He was curious as he never knew there was a place like this in his teacher's palace, and it was floating right above the palace of Primal Chaos City Leader. He glanced at the sculptures on the stone table. One of the pictures depicted 3 great beings saluting a great being, one depicted a great being doing mass slaughtering, and one depicted how 2 great beings attacked a group of great beings. The sculptures were abstract, but Luo Feng could tell that one was Primal Chaos City Leader. And there's my chair. Luo Feng sat down after he noticed the sculpture on the back of the chair. There were several scenes in the sculptures. One of them depicted an individual facing thousands of beings. Another depicted a huge oval enveloping all those thousands of beings, and they all died under that dome. You should have figured it out by now. Primal Chaos City Leader looked at Luo Feng with a grinning face. The seniors of the human race decided that you're the 19th universe master of the human race. Luo Feng couldn't help be overjoyed at first. And then, he was a bit confused. The 19th one. That meant the human race had 18 universe masters in total before Luo Feng became one. That meant the human race had a great number of universe masters comparatively. The bug race and automaton race might only have fewer than 10 universe masters, and the demon race might have around the same number. Yes. Primal Chaos City Leader nodded. But according to my information, Luo Feng looked confused. He had the access authority of a top-tier universe master, and he should have been able to get information about the universe masters of the human race and other powers in the universe. Based on the information he had on hand, there were only 15 universe masters in the human race. Why was he the 19th? You know of 15, right? Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. Each power has some secrets, and there are some hidden universe masters within our race. There are 18 universe masters in total in our human race, excluding you. There are 5 from the Virtual Universe Company and Huge Axe Dojo, 3 from the Universe Mercenary Alliance, 3 from the Universe First Bank, and 2 from Universe Star River Bank. Luo Feng listened carefully. What Primal Chaos City Leader had just said was different from what he knew. He knew there were only 4 in the Virtual Universe Company, so apparently, one was in the shadows the whole time. Of course, if we include you, there are 6 in total now. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. You're the first disciple of mine to become a universe master. Ha ha ha. I have an edge at this in front of my brother now. Brother? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. You have a brother? 2, actually, said Primal Chaos City Leader. They are both universe masters, and there are lots of other brothers who are not universe masters. Luo Feng nodded. He also had lots of brothers. Wait. If there are brothers, there must be a teacher. Primal Chaos City Leader had 2 brothers who were universe masters, which meant that teacher had 3 disciples who were universe masters. Who was he? Let me introduce you to the universe masters of my Virtual Universe Company. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. The first one is Long Yang Master. He's an elder in my Virtual Universe Company, and has been a universe master for a very long time. You've met him before. Luo Feng nodded. The second one, also my brother, is Ice Mountain Master. He's very aloof, but is great at handling the important issues. Luo Feng knew of this Ice Mountain Master, too. He was a great being proficient in close combat, and he was one of the pinnacle universe masters as well. He was only slightly weaker than Primal Chaos City Leader, and he might have been stronger than Flame Emperor. The third one, also my brother, is Darkness Master. He's rarely involved with the issues of the human race, and he hardly ever shows up. Few know of him, and he's a very low-key disciple of our teacher. Without letting anyone know, he has become a universe master. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. Luo Feng was startled. Darkness Master. He'd never heard of him. Even the powers of the universe don't know about him, said Primal Chaos City Leader. Of course, Darkness Master is well known in the universe ocean. And he's a terrifying universe master. Ha ha. The powers in the universe don't even know that Darkness Master is of the human race when they run into him in the universe ocean. The fourth one is Remote Lord Master, said Primal Chaos City Leader. He's the youngest of the 5 universe masters in the virtual universe company before you joined. And he's a disciple of Darkness Master. Ah. Luo Feng was startled. Remoteness Lord Master was also a reckless universe master, who was great in killing and combat. Of course, he was weaker than Ice Mountain Master and Primal Chaos City Leader, but he was also a strong universe master. He was at the same level as the previous Blood Cloud Palace leader. And he was a disciple of Darkness Master. My brother's disciple became a universe master, and now, my disciple has also become a universe master. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. From now on, there will be 6 universe masters in the virtual universe. Okay, I'll call the 4 of them here now. The universe masters of the virtual universe should gather first. Luo Feng nodded. There were several groups in the human race, and the virtual universe was a group itself. However, the group had significant power, as Primal Chaos City Leader and Ice Mountain Master were both top-tier universe masters. Long Yang Master was not much weaker. As for Darkness Master, he was mysterious and probably rivaled Primal Chaos City Leader. Although Remote Lord Master was a youngster, he was also powerful. Luo Feng was as strong as Remote Lord Master, without Star Tower, of course. Luo Feng sat there and waited. A being walked in. He was lanky, and had a horn on both of his ears. There was an eye between the eyebrows, and he wore scaled navy armor. He didn't wear his Remote Lord Bayonet, as he was in the virtual universe. Luo Feng recognized him immediately and stood up. Remote Lord Master. Luo Feng. Remote Lord Master looked fierce, but he was still smiling when he saw Luo Feng. Remote Lord Master, Luo Feng said again, smiling. Uncle. Remote Lord Master bowed to Primal Chaos City Leader to show respect, but didn't bow low. After all, he was a universe master. Sit, said Primal Chaos City Leader. Interesting. Another being walked in. That towering body and the dragon tail. It was Long Yang Master. I haven't seen the universe masters from the huge axe dojo that upset for a long time. Long Yang Master sat down and gave Luo Feng a nod. Luo Feng, you were really impressive on that original star, when you killed more than 6,000 universe knights in one strike. We calculated that each alliance lost at least 1 domain-type pinnacle true treasure. Luo Feng shook his head. I could have done better. I should have fought Master of Banfu for a longer time, so that more universe knights went into the zone. Long Yang Master and Remote Lord Master were at first dazed, then started to guffaw. Suddenly, a sense of coldness permeated. It was a silver-haired man carrying a blade on his back. He wore ancient armor with bloodstains on it, and he was the most handsome universe master in the virtual universe company. It was Ice Mountain Master. Ice Mountain Master nodded at Primal Chaos City Leader, and sat down. He glanced at Long Yang Master, Luo Feng, and Remote Lord Master, and they all nodded at him. So cold, Luo Feng thought. Suddenly, a being walked in from the distance, and before they could see clearly who he was, a wicked, dark force permeated. He wore a black coat outside and silver and black armor inside. He was bald, and his skin was like jade. There were complex black engravings on his head, and he gazed at people like a snake extending his tongue. Even space and time were affected by him, trapped in a strange atmosphere. "Brother," said Primal Chaos City Leader. "Brother," said Darkness Master. Luo Feng was startled. He suddenly realized the difference between his teacher Primal Chaos City Leader and Darkness Master. Primal Chaos City Leader looked peaceful and tranquil, while Darkness Master was endlessly dark and wicked. They had exactly the opposite aura. And their power was at the same level. No wonder, thought Luo Feng. His Darkness Master. Darkness Master stood in his chair and looked at Luo Feng. "Brother, is this your disciple, Luo Feng?" This video will end here.